in the designer show world. Welcome, everyone. Hi, this is Dan at Chief Experts on with our another episode of our designer show. Someday we should get a little jingle going here so we could do some cool music up front. Anyway, welcome, Renee, John, and Robin. Kevin, I'm not sure where he's at. If he's going to join us today, that'd be great. But I know he's awful busy. So if he doesn't make it, that's okay, too. But welcome, everyone. We're going to have some fun today. We've got some cool things we're going to talk about. What do you guys know for sure? How's everything treating you guys?
Everything's great. Getting ready to go to KBIS.
All right. Oh, that's
and
right.
then come to see you for the summit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm getting really excited.
Hey, this is
trying
cool.
to figure out how many of my shoes I'm going to bring with me.
This is cool. The comments now display people's pictures. I like that.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed that last time we did a show.
Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that now. That's awesome. So got a few people saying hi. Yeah, buddy, if you wouldn't mind just chiming in, tell us where you're viewing from. That'd be awesome. So Renee and Robin.
Hey, there's Ebony. Nice.
Oh, hey, Ebony. So Renee and Robin, you will be at the KBIS IBS show.
We'll be at KBIS. I'll be at the Chief booth on the day of the breakfast all day, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm bringing a bunch of people to the breakfast. I'm taking 12 students, I think. So it'll be great. And Ebony, I need to talk with you. So, because I want to have my students come and talk to her. Ebony is an amazing woman. And if you don't know her, well, you guys met her in Idaho this year.
Yes, we did.
She's just an outstanding human being. So
yes, Ebony, it was wonderful to meet you.
Yeah. And Hayden and Vanessa.
You got a pin. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's okay. Vanessa is coming.
I was saying we got to pin Jeffrey Reckford's comments because he's reminding me I need to go get some shoes just for KBIS.
K-bar, yeah, it is hard on the feet. Wear good shoes, absolutely.
Well, I think he was commenting on the fact that I said I'm not sure how many pairs of shoes I need to bring.
Whatever your most comfortable ones are.
I'm bringing a suitcase just for my shoes.
Oh, that's true. You do buy cool shoes. I will give you that.
I do.
You do. Yes. We'll have to have a show on Robin's shoes someday. I seriously, she buys really cool shoes. I mean, where do you get those again? You get some of those.
Oh, they're just custom Converse. So I'm kind of addicted. Not kind of. I'm seriously addicted.
Yeah, you are. But I love them. The color combinations and things that you do are just phenomenal.
They're fun.
All right.
Robin, one of your friends, Heather, she makes custom shoes. You've seen her stuff, right? She's going to be at KBIS.
I haven't. She's going to start teaching for me at the college.
Cool. All right.
All right. Well, let's move forward here, you guys. We got a lot to talk about, or maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what we talk about. What spins up on the wheel. I got some topics on the wheel today. No icons today, but we got some good topics that I think we'll cover, and we'll have some fun with that. You guys, I'm not going to go into much detail right now, but there's still room at the summit, still room at the inn, so to speak. We have some spaces that are still available. So if you've been thinking about coming to Summit, you still have an opportunity to do that. And we've got a great lineup of people. We got a great lineup of things that we're going to cover. And of course, as always, we have a great lineup of food that will be prepared for you, food and fun. So we're really looking forward to it. And it'll be nice to take a break. The weather's looking like it's going to be pretty nice. So I'm excited about that too. So we could be in the 60s most of the time, it looks like.
Which is about the same temperature that it's going to be in Vegas. So we don't have to bring massive amount of clothes.
So I'm looking forward to that. Let's just jump right in. I asked Renee if he wouldn't mind talking about this a little bit. I don't know what's the best one of these to do here.
Do the overhead one because I got
you got a wide screen. That's right. Yeah. So Renee, you posted this. When did you post this? 15 hours ago. Let me just play the video.
Really cool.
It's just 12 minutes long. Now this is exclusive. Huh?
12 seconds long.
Seconds, yeah, not minutes. You did this exclusively in Chief Architect?
Yeah.
So look at that.
I did put a filter on it afterwards, but Yeah.
What do
it's
you mean
rendered
by
in 3D.
that? What do you mean a filter?
Just like your like an Instagram filter kind of a thing, where it's just
Okay.
changing some of the softness and color hues. It puts a
Yeah.
little bit more blue into the shadows
Okay.
for one. Yeah.
That's really phenomenal. I mean, it really looks good. And depending on what kind of a device you're looking at it on, it's going to seem a little darker. On my phone, it seems darker than it does on my computer. And if I go full screen here, it really shines. So
I'm gonna be
uh,
switching to Android and have that darker image for me too. Okay. The
okay.
iPhone just shows it super bright.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it is device dependent. So cool. Well, Renee, I wanted to ask you, because I know some people, you've had a lot of comments in your user group there. And you guys, if you haven't joined Users of Chief Architect on Facebook yet, this is, you should go join that. Renee is now in charge of that group. I still have the group that I'm in charge of, that I run. But Renee is, obviously, he posts lots of cool stuff. So you're going to get help in both places, but definitely check out Renee's site and get there and join it. Of course, it's free because it's on Facebook.
So
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, here, I'll put it up on the screen. This
Yeah.
is actually a collaborative work, and they're in the show right now. Here, this is them, Western Design International.
What do you mean collaborative work?
So the initial layout of this kitchen is from Western Design, and then I'm coming in to do just some refinements. And this house is gorgeous. I'm not prepared to show the whole house, but it's you've seen maybe 8 months ago or so. I did a rendering of the exterior of this house.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
it's an incredible house. Right now, I'm just set up to render in the kitchen only.
Okay.
So,
looks like a little bit like the house I did in Texas.
And my process is such, I don't feel like I'm great at visualizing design until it starts looking realistic. So unfortunately for me, I have to start making materials look realistic before I can even start working. And so that was the process here.
I know you are a Photoshop, guru.
Yeah.
So do you dress up some of your materials in Photoshop before you?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I don't think there's a material in the scene that wasn't one I created myself. In this particular one, so and I was having some fun with it. I kind of picked the hood to start with because this hood, started off looking somewhat similar to this from the get-go, and then I just started putting more detail into it and I did a whole video on how I put together this hood. So this hood's actually it's a single fixture now, and it's a fixture as a light, so it actually projects light. So if we open it, if you open it, it's an electrical symbol, and there you go. You can see that there's light sources on it.
Have you tweaked the light sources on that?
Oh yeah, so we got 3 lights, and they're lined up with the actual lights on the hood, so that's kind of cool, and then mapped it so that it could have a bunch of different textures. So part of the realism in this shot is that I have, even though it looks like I only have maybe 2 or 3 wood textures in here, there's actually like 10 or 15. And
really? Wow.
They're all just slightly different from the next.
Are your beams all one? Are your beams all one texture going, and they automatically switch direction?
There's 2 textures in the beams. So one is slightly different in hue and offset than the other, and then like even on the hood itself, this section is a different color than this section, and same thing with this inner portion. So they're all just slight hue changes, and that really adds to the realism. People are always asking, like, what are your lighting settings? What are your lighting settings? I only have right now I only have the under counter lights on in this scene. So there are no lighting settings. This is all materials. And
that's what you've been saying, is that you get a lot of lighting effect from materials. So what do you do in the material to adjust that?
So just like, we'll give an example, just this flooring. And I generated this floor using, well, there's a problem in this floor right now, and I can explain what this is, but I generated this flooring using Dustin Cruz's Substance Player that he's got on Chief Talk forums. Yeah. Yep. And when he was first making that, I asked him, hey, can we get a a picture input, image input. So we could take wood off of the internet, you know, picture of a slat of wood off the internet and chop it up. And so that's what this does. And then here's a quick trick to address right now. If you have a high enough bump or normal map in your flooring, what's going to happen is the surface underneath is going to show through. And that's what's happening right now. Is the reason these are all light is because the surface underneath this floor is actually showing through.
So a normal map or bump map is kind of an image that sits on top of the photograph of the wood.
Well, so it's a stack of things. So normal map, bump map's easier to explain what it is. A bump map would be a grayscale map, black to white, where maybe black is an indent or depression, and white is a raised surface. So that makes the slats stand up. And then on top of that, I'll put in something. If I just get in where I keep my materials on my computer, I'll put in any number of things from various locations where I've always got just generic bump and normal maps. And so here's where I might put in a wood texture into the finish of that material. And I'll just show you what it does real quick. We'll take the material picker, we'll pick this up. And for a roughness map, the black, it's also a grayscale map. Black is going to be true gloss versus white's going to be a matte finish. So if I go in here and I pick something kind of strong contrast black and white, or just saying I'm going to pick this one, you're going to see this show up real quick as soon as it finishes.
Has all the knots in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as the light hits it, parts of this are going to become gloss.
Okay.
How much time do you have into that, Renee?
I spent 2 days working on this. So
there's that bump.
You can clearly see those are the rings here. And something to keep in mind, the resolution of the original texture, you'd have to have a texture that matches that resolution, or understand that your bump map's going to get stretched according to the resolution of the texture map. So the bump map I just chose is a real small truncated image, and it's getting stretched because the main map is a different size.
Got it.
And then just to kind of mess around and show you what happens here in our structure, floor finish, let's look at what's happening. You see this foam right here? Let's see what happens if I just change this material. And sorry, this stuff moves slowly when you're working through it. Probably because I'm in a ray trace mode. So I'm going to edit this material in the pattern section, and I'm going to just turn it black. And now that's my new surface texture, is going to be black underneath this flooring texture.
Here you go, Renee.
Comments.
That's super funny. I agree with you, John. Most of the time I'm like, you're up here, bring it back down.
There we go. You see that?
All right.
We all feel the same way, John. You're not alone.
But it's fun to see this stuff, that, to know that there's this kind of crazy stuff going on in the background. And thank God we don't have to know much about it. So we have guys like Renee that are going to take care of it for us.
Yeah, come hire me.
You changed that bump map for that area. Is there a way to, like, say you want to do you want to show a different pattern, different bump map for another plank right next to it? Can you put two bump maps in the same material, or
no? You'd have to split the floor, put a floor material region in there or something like that. Which we showed that last year in the summit. We showed how to do a banded edge inside.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that stuff.
And that stuff is, I almost just do it in camera view, where we're picking a slat and then putting a material region and matching the slat of the floor to actually do like a banded edge. Yeah,
to get the width and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But it's cool to see that Chief, I mean, is really, it's getting there. I mean, this is pretty amazing.
Well, and big hats off to the Chief dev team. I love the team that does the rendering, and I was talking to them in Idaho. I had a big back and forth with them over a series of months just about rendering stuff coming in next versions, and I'm super excited to see what happens at KBiz. I want to see, actually implemented.
Yeah.
So this stuff should only improve in the next version.
Yes, absolutely.
And hopefully be user friendly. I know you guys are speaking a foreign language, but yeah.
User friendly. Yes. All right,
So
cool.
Renee, one of the things that I struggle with when I'm trying to do something like that is hunting for stuff in the library. What do you do to keep it straight so you don't have to search all over the place to find what you're doing, what you want to do?
I make sure I put search attributes on everything. So if I come in here and we're just zooming in on my library browser, if I type in RD Wood, which is Rabbit Design, that means I'm looking at from my own textures and it shows up pretty quickly. And these are things I've made. So
that's, John, that's part of us taking our brain cells just a little bit further when we're picking out that favorite toilet that we like to use. Let's tag that damn thing.
Tag it. Yeah.
Putting in the library and then keeping your library straight so you can find it.
Well, you don't even have to do that. You just tag. Can you just tag the?
Yeah.
You can tag it. Tag works. I do what I call a stacked tag. So my stuff is all, if I want flooring material for interiors, I'm going to click on interior, I'm going to click on floor, and I'm going to click on material. And it's going to get me there.
Bam.
So you touched up on
There you go.
yeah. Renee could do just a whole class just on how to organize your library.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah,
That's
I
I
got
think
so many
that would
hours.
be really helpful. That would be really helpful.
That's a good one.
John. Rabbit hole.
I'm sorry. I can't help you there.
That'll be our new
John.
Squirrel. We won't call it a squirrel anymore. We'll call it a
No.
rabbit hole.
I
Yes,
think
and
it's
yeah.
great.
Well, I tell
John, you're
people that
fabulous.
I could teach you everything I know, or you can just hire me. Come on.
There you go. All right. Look what I've inspired. Yep.
Yeah.
I love
Nice.
it. No, this is cool. Thanks, Renee. We need to move forward. So, but yeah, organizing your library is just, I keep forgetting to do that myself. I go look for a toilet and it's like, God dang it. Why don't I just because I use it all the time.
Yeah.
So
Stop and organize it.
Stop and organize.
Well,
and just get in that habit.
Since we're talking about the library a little bit, pull up your plan and because I'm starting to think about using the library in a little bit different way. I don't know if anybody else is doing it or not, but can you pull up a plan, Dan, or just draw a quick?
Sure.
I'm starting to use find in library a lot more.
Let's see.
That function, yeah.
So you want a new plan? So what do you want to do?
So just grab a wall and go to find in library.
This one, and that is
Bottom right.
this one's the magnifying glass.
Yep.
This one right here.
So it's going to ask you to put it in the library. You probably don't have it in there.
So if I put it in there, that brings my library, which I have expanded.
So one thing, if I put all my wall types that I want to use in my library under a wall tab, it will open up that tab so I can just go there and grab my wall.
Right. So there's my other walls.
Yep. So, but if I'm going to use the find in library, I have to work from my library all the time. I can't go up to the wall tool and use that. But as soon as you click on that, go back to the plan now and click on the middle wall and find in library.
Oh, find in library. All right.
And now start drawing. You ready to go?
Yeah, because it opened it in the library here.
It opened it in the library.
Same thing here. If I want to use this wall and I find in library.
That's clever, John. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then since it opened that tab in the library, because I clicked on there, found in library.
So if I do that one, now I'm ready to draw. And if I do this, hit find in library. I thought I did that. Thought I did. Oh, well.
Well, you selected a different one. That's why I say you have to work from the library if you're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. So I should
same wall.
I should be selecting my walls from here then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't have to open the library because you can select a wall that's in the library and find in library.
Sure.
And then it brings you to that tab. So then you can change the wall that you want to use and start drawing with that wall.
Yeah. Nice. The other one I do kind of the inverse of that, but I'll draw a new wall and I'll just set it as the new default. and
Right,
then I'll
but
go back to
that
another
takes
one.
more
and
work.
set it as
Right.
It takes
default.
more work to do that. I mean, that's one thing I'm trying to get rid of clicks, right?
Well, wait,
I
no,
want-
no. He would just click on set as default in the toolbar.
Oh,
I
right.
see what you're saying.
So,
you're
if
saying.
I'm,
So I keep flipping defaults.
so if I switch my interior wall type, well, let's go add another type of a wall. I'm just screwing on here. So there's a foundation wall, but I want that to be my new interior wall type, so I can draw more interior walls.
You'd have to have it drawn in the interior though.
Oh, that's right. I forget about that.
Right.
Thank you.
The other thing you can do,
if you highlight that,
this also brings up doing as-built versus new stuff. You can take that wall and make it an as-built wall and put it on your as-built layer, and it will be on that layer when you put it in there.
I'm a big fan of putting interior walls on a different layer than exterior walls, so you can turn them all off.
You can do that too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I do that too a lot.
Here's
Okay.
a big one for me, Dan, when I'm working through as-built. Select your
Mhm.
interior wall, the middle dividing one. Open that up. And then right there where it says thickness, just add 2 inches to it. Just go +2. So for
Okay.
those that didn't know that, if he presses OK, that now generated a new wall called interior 6. And that's when I'm like, I'll set that as default. Now I'm just drawing with interior 6. And then I can.
So why does it do that on an interior wall? But if I do that to a railing wall, it doesn't change the wall type. It just adds the thickness up to it. That's interesting.
I don't know that I
didn't
knew
know
that.
that.
Yeah.
So like if you go out and put a railing on here and you want to do post and you want the post to be set back a little bit, you would just take this wall type and you would make it, you would add to this, if I make that 8 inches, for example, it's not going to change that into an 8-inch wall type, but it
Let's look
does.
at the wall type. What is it? Let's see it.
There's a
Let's see. Well, I had railing selected. So the wall type.
Yeah, it did it.
Did
Look,
it really
now it's
change it?
interior railing 7. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know it through that. I didn't know it did that. I just learned something new.
So are we done with that? Are we done with the walls like that? Because I have another issue that I want everybody to let Chief know about it so that they'll
I
change
thought
it.
we were spinning wheels, not dealing with issues, John.
No,
Go
put a window
ahead.
in there.
Go
Put a
ahead.
window in there
Oh.
and do the same thing.
In the railing
Put a
or the
window.
wall?
Put a
Right.
window in the wall.
In the window in the wall.
Put
Okay.
a window in the wall.
There's a window
And
in
then
the wall.
add that to that find in library for your window.
Okay.
Add it to your library. But see, it comes up with this. Every
Yeah.
time you click on it, it's going to come up with this.
Yes.
I want it to at least hold the window and not bring this menu up unless I want it. Right? This does this with any fixture, anything like that. It brings this up instead of just grabbing the object and
Just
being able to
finding
use
it
it
in the
again.
library.
You have to
'Cause it's
select what
asking you what-
attribute of that you want to
Because
use.
it's adding it. You have to add it to the library first.
Well,
right?
it'll bring it up when
Well-
you do it again. Do it that way.
Well, let's just do that. Okay. Yeah. Let's put it in the library. So now it's in my library right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that function
Okay.
that comes up because I use that all the time for cabinets where I'm working on other people's
Yeah.
plans and I want the cabinet door that they used.
Well, so it's just like your walls, you would want to be working from your library to select that window.
So can you put put a window in there from the library and see if it'll let you find it in the library without
I
bringing
just
up
did.
that?
I just put this one back in.
Okay. Now
Okay.
select that one and find it in the library.
Yeah, the same
See,
thing.
it brings that back up again.
Yeah.
I don't want it to do
Sure.
that.
Well, then don't use that icon.
But it's so handy. I mean, I can select that window, find it in the library, and go to the next floor and put it in.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, well, there again, wouldn't you just work from your library of windows?
But then I have to go, well, I suppose if I had it open all the time, but this
I mean, if you-
actually sorts my library when I click on it.
If you changed, if you put your tags in there, you could do JS casements,
Yeah,
JS double hungs, those kind of deals. Yeah,
I haven't
no, I
been
get
paying
it.
attention to the comments. I hadn't seen if anybody's saying anything here.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, cool. I suppose we could just keep doing this kind of stuff. Let's go spin the wheel because I put all this cool stuff on there.
Yeah, you did.
I did. So, no icons today. Let's just do this and we'll spin up and see what it lands on.
No icons. You're slipping.
I know I am. All right. As-builts. What did I want to say about as-builts?
What about
I
them?
made notes on that so we
Yeah.
wouldn't forget. Where did I put my notes now? Here it is. As-builts. Anyone using Canva, Matterport, or any other scanning software? Matterport just put a big Matterport just put a big update out that I didn't get a chance to watch it. Any of you guys see what their
No.
update's all about?
What's new? No.
So let me just go to the website real quick and we'll just talk about this for a second. If anybody's used the new Matterport or had a chance to do it, but they're doing, they had a really cool feature where you could click on a room. Is this it? And it would show you all the dimensions around the room, height, yeah, like this.
About
so clicking
time.
on the room, yeah. So this could be huge, okay. And I saw one, yeah. So they're getting dimensions on there now, so we don't have to go measure everything. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I really like that. So if you guys check out Matterport, if you can find someone in your area that can use the new Matterport 3 camera, have them go scan something. You know, if I get an opportunity, I'll hire someone around town here to do that. John, did you ever find anybody in town? I totally forgot to get back to you on that.
I actually, it turns out I'm not going to need them. They can wait for the as-built till I get back to town.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. So that one feature alone, it looks really nice. Matterport's really expensive camera. It's like $6,000 for the camera. So this is where you'd want to hire
For the
people.
LiDAR one.
Yeah, you can use your phone to do this kind of stuff, but I don't know if your phone will give you these kind of results.
Yeah.
Using
My problem with Matterport, it's not a problem. It's just a part of it is that, you know, lining up walls from floor to floor, you still have to make sense of it architecturally. It's never quite perfect.
Right. Well, again, each year that we go by, these companies keep producing this kind of stuff. And it's getting there. Matterport Access is the one I was talking about, where for not a lot of money, you can use your phone to scan the property.
Yeah.
I have this. I've only used it a few times. Because I go measure on site and draw it on site, I don't really need this.
I have it in my contract that says that you have to do an intake form with me and you have to tell me which floor is priority, because I will prioritize that floor over every other floor. So if the dimensions are off from floor to floor, I'm going to pick one floor and say everything's going to be built off of this one.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
It'd be great to get one of us has to get that Moser device so we could start sampling it at the summit.
Chad have? Oh no, Moser. Chad has the other something different. Yeah, I haven't tried.
I think Chad has Moser too.
Does he? Okay, maybe we can find out more about that.
Yeah,
at the summit.
Chad, if you're watching, bring it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw him on here yet.
Okay, well, we'll talk to him. I'm sure he'll bring it with. Speaking of that, since this is right here at the top of the thing,
Come to the summit.
come to the summit, you guys. We still have space. And if you aren't familiar with the summit and what it is if you go to chiefexperts.com, and I did change my website name to chiefexperts.com now, so you don't have to type in Chief Experts Academy anymore. So go to Chief Experts, and on the homepage you'll see on the top of the screen a message about the summit. If you click this, there's a little video that'll play here. It's a 20-minute video where I kind of go through the whole summit and what it's all about, and just really get into a lot of detail here about the summit. So it's a lot of fun. Did I turn my darn? Oh no, there it is. So yeah. So just to talk all about it, I should have the slider bar turned on there. I hate videos that don't have the slide bar. Make sure that's turned on. But come to the event. There'll be 42 of us there at this point, including Linda and all of us guys, Renee and Robin and Kevin and I will be there, and John will be there. So we got a big group coming. You'll be well taken care of by all of us. And as far as the food and everything, you've got a whole gang here that's going to be feeding you the most amazing food. So it's really, really a cool event. And like I say, if you have questions, you want to talk about it, please give me a call. I'd love to fill those other few rooms we have available and see you there at the summit. So, and you can also, if you live in the area or you know someone that you can stay with in the area, we do have some spots available where you can come and you don't have to stay. Actually, that should be updated. There's 2 of those gone. So you could just join us, you know, during the day for the training. You still get all the meals. You still hang out with us. You just stay somewhere else. So you save some money that way too. So let me know. Would love to talk to you.
I
It's a
might do
cool event.
a deep dive into using Matterport there if people want to see that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you and John both do a lot with that. So
Yeah,
you get
John
into
and I can tag team that.
yeah, you get into that a lot more than I do. So, all right, but that's a little bit about Summit. I don't want to dwell on it too much here, but yep, it's coming up fast. So please let me know. Let's see what we get. Let's talk about callouts. This is a fun topic because Chief has done a lot with callouts in the program. I was working on a plan here recently where I ended up doing, you know, actually spending a bunch of time working with callouts and kind of coming up with some ideas about how callouts could work in the 2 different kinds of callouts that Chief has. Now, the callouts in Chief are used to, you know, find things in your plan. So if I'm on my floor plan and I'm looking for, you know, an elevation of that mudroom, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, you know, we're using the initials of the room, mudroom 1. And know it's on page 6. Okay. So mudroom 1, page 6. So if I go to my plan, go to the layout, there it says mudroom 1. And of course, down here, it says page 6. All right. So I'm not going to duplicate that page 6 in the call out of here. I see that a lot. I don't think in my mind, it's not necessary. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So just do that. So anything that's got an elevation or something like that that needs to be found somewhere in your plan from the floor plan, like there's MR2 on page 6. Here's section 4 on page 14, section 1 on page 14, you know, so, you know, living room 2 on page 6. So those give us the indications on our plan where those details can be found. All right. So I think, you know, callouts are fairly simple in their sense, but there's still people that don't quite understand what they do and how they work. So the key with Chief is we want the page number to always update automatically. Because if I were to go in here and I were to go to page 14 on this layout, and so if I jump over to page 14, I'm going to click on the floor number and I can type in the page I want to jump to. So here's my sections. So here's section 4 on page 14. All right, here's my page number. So now if I go into my pages here and I say, you know what, I decided I want to add a couple pages in here, or I want to move this page down to page, you know, after page 16. So now the page number is 16. So when I go back to the floor plan, now that call out will say page 16. So it's automatic. So I don't have to keep track of anything to keep my call outs up to date. Does that make sense? Now, if we look inside of a call out and we look at the dialogue, the way you make that happen where the page number is automatic, you're going to go to label. Hold on, where am I again? I'm going to go to camera and I'm going to go to plan display, not label, plan display. What shows up on my floor plan? All right. So if we look at this menu, I've typed in S4 right here. I typed that in, and that's what shows up in the top of my call out. All right. So this one, I typed S1 into the top of that. But the page number is set to automatic. It's set to automatic. All right. So there's your page number. You see it says 16 here. I didn't put that there. It's automatically put there. And that's what will show up in the bottom of your call out. All right. So that's what shows up down here. So where does that page number come from? So if we go back to the page where that call out, where that section is. So if I go here and I click on this section, and I open its dialog box, and I go to no, I don't want to go live. I want to go edit the page. So I'll just right click on this. I'll right click on that detail, and I'll edit. Well, this is the page. Okay, this is the page number. Okay, this is another question I want to ask you guys. Here's the pound sign in this box right here. It's a macro. So this page number is driven by a macro, and that macro, when I put a pound sign under label, it's going to automatically put the page number in there. And if I change, if I put an A in front of that pound sign, it'll go A123. And if I put an E in, it'll go E123. So it'll start the page numbering over automatically. So you want to watch that pound sign. So if I go back to my page 0, which is the mass.
Pound .1.
Pardon me?
You could put pound .1 and it would be 16.1.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I haven't figured out yet, and I'll ask you about this, but here's the macro that runs that. So if we go macro, it's layout page label. Okay, so this is the code that we put in this box, the text box for the page number. We can adjust that just like any other size text. You can do multiple callouts in the same thing. So that's how we get the page numbering to work automatically. So when we go here, page 1, that again, if I go edit the page information, it's got a pound sign, so it's putting that in there automatically. So what do you guys do? I've had a few contractors this week. It's kind of weird that they kind of like popped out of the woodwork, but they want to use like 0. I have one that wants to use 3 zeros. They'll put like 1000, no, A000.1 or something like that.
Well, it's because how they're managing their bookkeeping, so it all matches. I have one jurisdiction that requires that. One specific jurisdiction in Oregon.
So it's a bookkeeping thing?
Yeah, because it has to do with like plans are on this phase of construction. It's how they keep time tracking, and that's why they're doing it. So electrical has a different number, and cabinets has a different number, and HVAC has a different number. So that's what they're trying to do, and that way it doesn't make sense. It's just confusing. But obviously, it was an architect or an engineer who started it. Sorry, Richard. I know you're here. No slam on Richard. Okay, no slam on architects. But it's
a guy in Hawaii,
right?
The guy in Hawaii that uses the 3 zeros.
Right.
And he says that's the way the city wants it.
Well, like I said, I mean, I just do interior design, and I have one jurisdiction that requires that you have to use letters and a specific numbering system.
Yeah, I could see that for tracking. Would that be for tracking your time put in the plan, not necessarily building the project? You wouldn't build a project with those numbers.
Yeah, well, no, they do. Like it's the employees would, they put like when the electrician's on the job that the electrical, I don't know what the number is. Somebody else can give me that, but electrical has a specific number. And then like one dot after that is like, it might be 16.01. That might be the design. And then 0.2 might be the materials, and 0.3 might be the labor, and 0.4 might be the permit, right? So I know that I'm not probably explaining it incredibly well.
No, I get it.
I don't know why it would.
That does give me an idea of why they do it. I've never understood why they did that. Let's just, we got to move forward here quickly. So let's just talk a little bit more about call out.
Got a question here.
Yeah.
And yes, it is Washington County, whoever's asking that.
Can the same call out be on multiple levels?
Yes.
You can do it with cameras. Can you do it with an actual call out?
Yeah. Call out's just a tool like text is a tool. You can put it anywhere and link it to whatever you'd like.
So if we go under the call outs here and we put a call out in and we label it, it's where is that? It's under.
Well, and this answers the next comment too. Mike says, would it be nice if while looking at a detail to have a reference back to where this detail comes from? I don't know if he's talking about from layout there, because we would just double click the layout box. That'll take you to the detail. But you can also place a call out and link it to a CAD detail where you're putting your, hopefully that's where you're putting your CAD details to be sent to layout. So you can link a call out within a plan view or a section view, and you can link that to a CAD detail.
So a typical text call out doesn't have the same options as a camera call out. It
It has all the same options. It's just a different dialog box.
doesn't have this one. It doesn't
What's
have
that?
this one.
Display on
Display
all
on-
floors.
No, yeah, that's part of a camera call out.
Gotcha.
But the plain call, I'd never noticed this before, but I just did that. Now, attributes got cross it, but doesn't have that option above here.
Yeah.
So what I would do if I needed call outs on every floor,
Copy
I would
paste it.
copy, paste in place. Yeah.
Will
So,
you place a call out and link it to a CAD detail so we can show that we can then navigate to that detail?
a plain call out,
Yep.
not a camera, just a call
regular
out.
call out. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm placing that on the,
And press OK.
okay.
And now link that. You can show how we can link this after the fact. Let me remove
That's
the comment
down
so you can
here.
see. Yeah.
We have an icon down here that looks like links on it. So what are we linking that call out to? I've never used
Anything,
that
any
tool.
one of your CAD details would be
Yep.
good.
So if we go up here, I have some CAD details here. Let's see. Let's go to this one, has more CAD details. So if I have a like that, I could
Sure.
link to that or a schedule or anything. So there we go. So I've linked that call out to that detail.
So now
So
we're in plan. So if you just double click that call out.
So if I go A and, I'm going to make that call out number A on, this is where I would put the page number.
Well, no, here you can go drop down your macro, text below
Yep.
line, go ahead and drop down
Yep.
a macro just to show this and go object specific. And you
Okay.
can say that it's linked view layout page label.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. That's where your page number would be. That's
so
the
if
pound
that
sign.
detail gets sent to layout, now we're linking our label to that from
Yeah,
this call
that's
out.
cool. I'd not used that before. I'm glad you brought that up. So again, that detail is, what did I link to, that cross section?
Well, so double click on it, double click your call out. That'll take you there.
Yeah. So here's
Send
my
this-
cross section.
Now send this to layout. You'll
So
delete it
send
later,
to
I'm
layout.
sure.
God dang it, Renee. I just learned something new today. This is really cool. So send that to layout.
Now go
So
back
that-
to your
there's-
plan view.
There's that detail. Okay. And here I would change the call out type. That's one thing I haven't figured out yet, is how to set up my template. So when I bring in this versus a floor plan, the call out type's different. So here I would go to my label and I would switch to this edit. So now I'm going to use, now I'm going to have that. Now
Once
see,
you
can I
once you put that call out in, Dan, just copy it and use it somewhere else, and then just
Yeah.
change the stuff
just
on it.
copy the viewport and change what's in it? Okay, Renee, what were you saying?
Go
Well,
back
you'd have
your
to go
plan.
back to plan. I think we just messed up the label though. Go back to plan
Did
real
it?
quick,
Okay.
and let's find that
And-
call out that we had.
Yeah,
placed.
where did I place it? I don't remember.
It
Oh,
wasn't in
the
this
first
drawing.
plan.
It was in your
This
untitled.
one. Yep.
There you
that one
go.
right there.
So there's your 6.
So it says
There's in there.
A6.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. The A won't show up automatically in my call out. I do have to add that to the call out itself. But the page
On the
number
layout?
on the
on the
layout.
layout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You'd
And you have to do that
manually
with all
add
your
that.
elevations. So I would go back to my layout. I would open this. I would go to my link. Let's see, go to my, where is it again? My label and edit it. I'd get rid of this. I don't want the page number. I just want reference plan label. What was that macro? Automatic label. Elevation.
Here,
one.
this is
You know, I
making a
think-
mess of it.
I know. I think there's a way to do it though, where I can
Yeah.
put whatever the label I have on my floor plan will read in there. I just don't know which macro that is right offhand. So if I go back to my floor plan, this one right here, and I want A to show up, ABC or whatever it is you want to show up in there. So let's go A1.
And we're just using the out of the box macros. This can get
Right.
infinitely more complicated.
Yeah, I know. But it's cool that, again, my whole goal here was just to show how the page numbers stays automatic.
So now
and
I'm
then
in my
do a few
layout.
things.
Now I'm in my layout and I have 20, 30 different details.
Right.
How do I navigate back to the plan where that detail is being used?
You're in layout. You have 30 different. Just double click on them.
Yeah, it's an active
But that's only gonna take
Once-
me to the CAD detail. It's not gonna take me to the plan.
to the,
So what are you trying to
Plan.
find in plan?
I wanna see where I
detail.
place that. I wanna see where I place the call out. That's
Well, John, you know what would answer and
Uh-huh.
solve all your problems? If X16 gives us some dang call out schedules.
can you put a call out in a schedule?
And I think I pushed that harder than anything under the sun at the Idaho event. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll see it next 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know yet if it's
Don't
going.
know yet. I don't know. Yeah.
we'll find out.
But Dermot
right.
was up there going, you know, that'd be pretty easy to do. And I'm like, all right, we'll do it.
Done. All right. The last thing I want to talk about schedules, and we'll spin the wheel again, is the size of the text and the call outs. Okay. And this could be, it doesn't really matter what page size you have. That's going to be the same. So what I like to do is I use, and again, you guys can chime in with what you use. For this and this, I use 3/16 inch text. Okay. And then for this, I'm using the 3/30 seconds for the bottom text for the scale. And then I'm having my text go to the left. I like that look. So the way you do that is in the elevation or floor plan, depending on which call out you're using, the marker or the call out. So I use call outs like this for all elevations in any view that I want to, it has a reference on the plan itself. If I'm using a marker, for a floor plan, you don't have to use anything if you don't want to, I suppose. But I would go in here and under main text style, 3/16, that's going to control the text in the box. So if I make this, let's just make this a little bit bigger. See how it controlled that box, or in the circle, I mean. So it's changing the text there. I like 3/16. Okay. For the other attributes, we've got the text above the line and text below the line. That's what these two items are, above and below. So here I'm doing the automatic label. So that's picking up what I put in my camera on the floor plan. The MR1 is automatic. That's going to be 3/16 of an inch. And it's going to be toward the call out, not centered, not away from the call out, toward the call out. And then this item below is going to be the box scale. That's going to be the macro we're going to use there. So it'll automatically put the scale of every viewport on your plan. If you have that in there, and I like that to be 3/30 seconds of an inch toward the call out. That's how I like it. So that's my preference. So if you guys are doing something different, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing.
I'll plug one of my products if I can.
Well, Renee, isn't that why we do this?
Yeah, all right, sure.
Go ahead.
In my pro layout, and my pro layout only really works with my pro plan, my labels look for a couple things. It looks to see if it has, in the saved plan views from plan, it looks to see if it has the words framing or foundation or any number of things where we wouldn't want to have what story it is in the label. And if it doesn't meet those conditions, then it adds what story that saved plan view is coming from.
Okay.
So I only have one floor plan saved plan view. I don't have floor plan story 1, floor plan story 2. I only have one.
I've seen guys that have done that, and it just becomes a nightmare to manage.
Well, no, I don't have to do anything because it's not linked to a particular floor. It doesn't matter what floor it's on.
So I'm not talking about where people have created a plan view for every floor, for every kind of different plan.
That's really complicated.
Yeah, it gets nuts. Yeah.
And then this looks at the file name, and if the file name has AB in it, it puts existing in front of the name.
Oh, there you go.
And if it has new in it, it might put proposed or just omits
You could
it
do-
entirely.
You could do that same thing by just using the generic macros and having your as-built as an as-built or existing save plan view, and then you can also pick the floor that it goes on.
Well, just keep in mind, I don't have to do anything except for start a new plan and start drawing. And the only thing I have to do is change the save name of what it's linked to. So I don't have to do any other manual work. My labeling, I haven't touched my labeling in a year because it just automatically generates.
Mhm.
So even this, looks for the naming convention, and if it has, I organize my CAD details by putting detail in front as a prefix. And so this label looks to see, does it say detail? Okay, then we're going to put scale underneath. And if it's a detail with no scale, this is automatically generated. So I don't type any of this. It does it for me.
Right.
So you just had a little bit of somebody just said something. Where did that go? Let's see. They said, I love the Pro Plan and Layout. Renee
Yeah, cool.
from the
Nice.
design guy. Hey,
He's the
Ken.
design guy. That's Ken.
We didn't even pay him for that.
Yeah. We love Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do some really interesting stuff. Conditional macros where we're looking at something and like I said, it looks to see if it's detail, and if it's detail, it puts no scale. If it's something else, it puts the correct scale. And so I never have to type in my labels ever again. Oh,
Nice.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You guys, you'll
I'm
be
gonna
here.
put you back on.
We'll be talking about that. So let's go back and spin the wheel again. We're gonna hide that, Trish. I can see we're not gonna get through much of our stuff. As usual.
We're giving lots of information.
We
can
are.
do everything.
Come to the summit. There we
Oh,
Yeah, we
go.
talked about that.
I did not program that in. You can't do it to this tool. So
That,
anyway,
that just
but-
interjected.
yeah,
You can
yeah,
just
it
leave
was-
that up there, Dan, so it comes up again later.
Oh yeah, there we go. I will hit. I won't hide that choice. So let's spin it again. I was going to put that on there 10 times, but I decided not to. Video cards. All right, real quick.
All right.
I want you guys to know that if you go to Chief and you go to preferences and you go to video card status, you can tell what video card you have on your computer. And I can't emphasize this enough. Make sure your drivers are always up to date. This is PC only. This is not Mac. But I don't even know what Mac would show. What would show up here for a Mac? But it'll tell you what video card you have, and then what your driver date is. So that I just updated mine here today. It's February 7th. So that's the latest driver. And if you
And you're
want,
stable.
everything's great. I haven't had no issues. So you're going to use a software to do that updating called, let me go open up a browser quick. Get over here.
Well, NVIDIA, you'll be in GeForce Experience.
Just Google for GeForce Experience software, or just GeForce Experience. And you're going to make sure you're going to nvidia.com, and then you're going to download this software and run it. And it will either tell you that the software won't work on your computer or that it will update your driver. I think I've only had one computer where it couldn't find a driver for it once. That was quite a while ago, but this is how you would check that out. Keep your drivers up to date if you have any issues with crashing or anything like that. So you guys want to add anything to that?
And then if you're on AMD, it's what is AMD's?
Is AMD, they have a different software for AMD?
AMD Software Adrenaline is what it's called.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. AMD is starting to make headways, aren't they?
I have both. I have AMD's top of the line card and I got NVIDIA's top of the line card. And I will have a machine that has AMD's card at the summit so people can check it out.
But you couldn't get an AMD guy to come to the summit, huh?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come by or not. He seems to be
Okay.
really busy around this time.
Maybe he'll pop in and give us all a free laptop.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, let's not hold our breath. But that's cool that you're in touch with the AMD folks and they keep giving you software or hardware to try. So, and you do put it to the test. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's go spin the wheel again. Got a couple minutes left. Resize items. This is a new thing. And
Can I actually stop and go back on that driver stuff?
let me. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The
Go for it.
question I see all the time in the users group is, it's graphics cards related. If you brought over or migrated from any version prior to X15 to X15, I'm going to pull up Chief right now and I'll put it on the screen real
Okay,
quick.
go for it. Yeah.
just make sure when you're rendering that you've updated your render settings, because if you've migrated, your settings are old settings, and your number here, this is in rendering technique options, okay? And your settings are probably 1,000 and unchecked cap live samples and
Exactly.
unchecked
If the
denoise.
rate, yeah, if that use ray
If
tracing.
you have a
can turn
ray
it on.
trace capable card and you're using ray tracing and you migrated, your numbers are 1,000 and unchecked cap live samples and unchecked denoise when complete.
Yeah.
Change this back down to they're out of the box now is 50 and check this and make
Oh,
sure.
so
denoise.
they have changed it in
Yeah, in
their
X15
template?
it came with these settings, but if you migrated, you might have missed that and you're
Yep.
stuck at this. And this
Oh,
is
the migration
not
thing.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never do that. I never do the migration. I always just, because it gives you a chance. You want to take that chance to clean up everything. If you migrate, you're migrating a bunch of old bad habits or mistakes that you've made. So, but if everything's working fine, then I guess go ahead and migrate. All right, resize items. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but we're in, you can, we have a resize icon, the X.
Yeah,
if we
can you
hold
share
the
your
X
screen?
key.
I can't
Oh.
find your, I don't see it.
Where'd I go?
Oh, there it is.
Did you find me?
I got it.
You got me? Okay, thanks. The resize button is this button right here. It's or the X key on your keyboard. But Chief has added a function here. So if you highlight something and you either you group select something or you control select. Okay, so if you group select, you'll see this, a dot and a triangle. And sometimes that triangle is covering up this circle. And that circle is a resize button. So if you hold your control key down, you can do that. So if you do this and hold your control and select, you can resize equally using that tool right there. So it's a handy little feature. I never even noticed that it was in there. One day I was saying, what's that circle for? And I hit it and then, oh yeah, it's a resize.
So if
So-
you
you said-
select, it'll do it. Yeah.
You said hold, control, and select, or one or the other?
Just highlight something and reselect it. You got to group, you got to select it.
Yeah.
Control select. Yeah. Or if you're group selecting, of course, you're doing that already. And then you can resize all at once. So really a nice feature. I use it a lot on layout pages that I'm resizing images and viewports and things like that. So really handy. So that little circle, that's what that's for. Highlight to resize things. All right, I think we got time for one more spin here. Page numbers. I think we talked about that a bunch already. Again, page numbering is one of those things that when you're on the layout page looking at page numbers and you go to edit the page information, again, the pound sign is the de facto default, that'll put the page numbering in automatically. And then you can change the letters in front of this to, like A1 or E1 or whatever you use for your naming convention. Again, that Renee, you were saying if you did like this 0.01 or something like that, you're probably going to have some manual page numbering stuff. We can't do pound sign, I don't believe.
No.
So that's not going to do anything. It just puts a pound sign there. So that would be the way to do it if we could do automatic.
We pushed for them to give us some automatic numbering macros.
Yeah.
Too, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would be nice actually. Because I do have, some of the firms that do that page numbering like that would be really beneficial, because then they wouldn't have to manually be changing their page numbers, which is still not that big a deal if you're doing it from this list. So if you are putting 001 or 1A or something like that, you can rearrange them and then just edit page information and do that. So
Can you select more than one of those at a time and change the prefix,
no,
change the label all at once?
nope, you got to do them one at a time. You can delete them all or update the previews, but you can't do anything else.
Oh, okay.
So
That'd be nice.
good question though, John, because I've looked for that in the past. All right, let's do one more quickie. 1 o'clock. Computers. Yeah, we already talked about that. Let's spin it again. Buy the best computer you can buy. Um, schedules. I love schedules. I see Robin's already getting excited because she loves schedules. I just wanted to show you a couple of quick things that I just discovered on schedules that are really nice. On my layout page, or in my schedules. Let me just go into my CAD. I always keep my schedules in my CAD detail windows. And let's just go to a window schedule. So you can add with a schedule, when you place a schedule, you can have one schedule in your plan per item, window schedules, door schedules, cabinet schedules. When you open the dialog for a schedule, you've got all these different options. The last option allows you to change how it shows up on the floor plan. Okay, none of the rest of these have to do with the schedule itself. This last one is how you adjust what shows up on your floor plan and in your elevations, actually. I've been experimenting with on Windows. I like to use both callout and label. So when I go to my plan, I'm going to see, let's go up to the next floor. So I got a call out, and then I can customize that label to be whatever I want it to be. I'll type that in, and it'll show here. It'll show both of them. So I've been getting some contractors that wanted to have both versus just having a plain call out. Like the doors still have I guess I did that to the doors too. Use the same one on this one. And so that's just a matter of putting in the window, you do have to put in, did I have to do something under the label? I don't remember. Yeah, I had to do the type code. I might be missing something here.
Okay.
So I type this in, and then this is automatic. So the type is the type of window. The call out's automatic. You don't have to do anything for that. So the type code is like the TC triple casement. All right, and then back on the schedule. So that's what my label looks like. So there's my call out and my label. So I can see both of those on the floor plan. The 3D view or 2D view, whatever, if you just shrink your column size, you're going to make that more manageable. I like to do individual windows on certain plans. If you're a new house and you've got most of the same windows, don't check this option to under general on your schedule. You want to check that in, group similar objects instead of not similar objects. Okay, so I have my group similar objects turned off, so it shows every individual window in the plan that is new.
When you have that group similar objects checked, it depends on what columns that you're using for the schedule, whether or not it will separate them or not.
Great point.
Does it? Okay.
So if it's something, if you have that checked and you have the floor column set in there, if something's on the second floor, it's going to give you that item
separately,
yeah.
Which probably good. So you see, I can have items on different floors. I have the floors. Now I've also got the room labels on my column. That's something
that's another thing that will sort it out, because now it's not similar anymore.
Yeah. Did they add that
One's
on
in the hall and one's
X15?
in a
I never
bedroom.
noticed that before. But that's just a matter of adding, you can go through this whole list of different things that you want
there's
to
so
add.
many reportable things you can put on it.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's way crazy. So I do I do the rough opening size. So be careful with your rough openings. I need to go back and turn egress on some of these.
Egress and tempered is.
So that's a matter of, like this bedroom here. Let's see, which one is it? This one should be marked egress. So what I'm going to do is just click here on my schedule, and I'm going to go click on this icon down here. You'll see you have another open item icon. That will open the item from the schedule. So now I could go here, and then under options, I would just say that's going to be an egress window. All right. So now, because I missed that earlier, so now it says egress yes. Okay. So that shows up on my plan. The same with tempered. Then, of course, the other last three columns are done based on the object information, comments, description, manufacturer. So there's the items that you can type in for each item in your plan, putting it there. And I have those columns turned on the schedule. So this is this is exactly what I want for this type of a schedule. So it works good for me. I just wanted to show you guys that, just so you're aware that you have more options available. The other thing you can do from a schedule is find the item in your plan by highlighting the item in the schedule and clicking this icon. And that will
And if
allow-
you have group similar objects, it'll find all of those
Yeah,
items.
it'll
So
highlight
it's-
all of them.
Yeah.
So here you see I've just done that. Now I found where it is in the plan. Because sometimes you'll have things in your plan going, where is that?
Yeah.
So that makes it really easy to find that. All right, I think we're done with
I
today.
think let me just say one more thing.
Yep,
I
yep.
think one that people forget, actually two that people don't maybe necessarily know, is you could do a roof schedule and you could do hardware schedules. So if you're doing any of the engineering on your plan, you maybe want that hardware schedule set up so that you're showing your Simpson ties and all that stuff. And then the roof schedule, you can show stuff like surface area, projected overhang, pitch, all that.
Yeah, so it works. Lately I've been doing this too, where I'll bring in a window. You know, if I know the series of windows, and I'll just kind of highlight which windows we're using. So I have all the information right there, which is kind of nice. All right, I think
Alright,
we're done.
Answer that
Done,
question. Answer this question for schedules.
How do you get the image
We have
small?
we have three different methods for scaling. So that a lot of that's in the schedule designation itself, or you can grab the column and shrink the column itself.
Yeah.
Depending on
So-
what you have set up in your
So
schedule.
just grab this diamond up here, and that makes the columns wider. So that, of course, that'll make the image bigger. So you want to do that to scale that down to a more reasonable size. And I found just a small image is more than enough to show on a schedule. I don't know what you guys think. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
works for
Yeah.
me.
It doesn't need to be big.
No.
No.
But yeah,
I
good.
show big on mine, but I cover a whole page with it. So
Yeah.
like this is my window schedule and I'm
course.
showing.
Of course, you charge by the page, so I get that.
Yeah. not.
Just kidding.
That's funny.
All right, cool. All right, you guys. As usual, it's
Thanks,
been
everybody.
fun. Let me get back. Where am I here? Here we are. So thank you guys for being here. And again, like I say, we still have room at the summit, room at the end. So please give me a call. I'd love to talk to you.
Yes.
And I'll kind of go from there. So our next show will be coming to you, I think, from the summit.
Are we going to do one there? Cool.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, we did that last year, and that was really a lot of fun. And the
Well, that-
dates kind of aligned for that. So,
Isn't,
so
Yeah, everybody
isn't
got
the
to
next
see.
one the Friday before?
what's that?
Isn't the next show the Friday
Oh.
before?
No, you're right. I'll be traveling that day, so we are going to move the summit to the second Monday. We're going to move our
Weird.
next show to the second Monday. So
Yes.
you guys just be aware of that. So we won't be here the first. I think that is March 1st is Friday. So we're going to do the show on March 8th. And I think we're going to have another one then the week after that too.
Everybody there gets to see how we are truly winging it on every show.
Well, it's kind of well thought out, planned, winging it. So
Uh,
we have fun. And we appreciate all you guys being here, and we love your questions. So we'll probably do some Q&A from the show. We'll probably spin up the wheel a little bit for a few topics, but we'll just have fun, and that's why we're here. The way I put it to people at the summit is we have a ball, but it's very serious fun. All right, we have a good time, but we're very serious about the work that we do and the things that we teach and talk about and how we help you in your business. And I think that shows in everything that we do here. So we do care a lot. So we want you guys to be successful in what you do.
Absolutely.
You guys got anything else you want to add?
Nope. See you at KBIS. See you at the summit.
Yeah,
Very
see
See
you
you,
soon.
everybody.
Take care,
Take care.
everyone. See you next
Be
time.
safe.
All right, bye.